Well, this is exciting. My plan is to replace some of the bus windows with caravan windows, and they've just the new shipment of caravan windows has arrived today. So let's go and unbox them. Oh! That didn't happen, of course. But what did happen is I think other people who have converted buses to motorhomes have probably encountered a similar problem. I dropped into the Department of Transport the other day because I've pulled out all the seats now, and I'll show you that shortly. And my plan was, as you will have heard in the first episode, my plan was to pull out all the seats, have it modded as a four-seater, because the seats remaining are in fact the driver, passenger, and then the two seats immediately behind, as I explained. But have it registered as a four-seater van. Now, I dropped into transport at Bow Desert the other day, and they told me that a van could only be under 4,500 kilograms, and because this has got a GVM of something over 6,000, that it couldn't be that, it'd have to be registered as a bus. Now, I'm not certain that she knew exactly what she was talking about, because a bus, in order to be classified as a bus, has to have, I think, a minimum of 9 seats and the driver's seat, so 10 in total. And this is only going to have 4. But I think it is correct that it can't be a van if it exceeds 4,500 kilograms. Now, I did ask her about Iveco Daily, which I'd spoken about earlier in that first video, is a vehicle that I'd considered, and they can have a GVM in excess of 4,500 kilograms. So I'm not certain exactly what they're registered at. So more investigation required. But as far as I can ascertain, it has to be registered as a light truck or a four-seater Pantech or something, like a dual cab, for example, truck, and you've seen those, such as the Isuzu and the Hino, and even the Fuso. So I'm guessing that that's what it has to be registered at, because the issue is if I downgrade it to 4,500 kilograms, then I'm very limited, because the tear on these is around about 3,800 kilograms. It only leaves me about 600 kilograms in which to play with, 600 or 700 kilograms in which to play with, and 3 or 4 90-litre water tanks is 360 kilograms. So it doesn't leave much for batteries or fridges or anything like that. So the GVM is going to have to stay as the 6200. I'm not going to change that at all. What I will do is, once I've pulled out the seats and done a couple of things that I need to do for roadworthy, I'll drop it in, have it modded, and at that time get a roadworthy and register it as a light truck. In this episode, what I'd like to cover is the removal of the seats, and also a look at the rear bumper, which I think I'd spoken about in the first episode, which had taken a hit. And you'll also get to see what actually was in that box that got dropped. The seats here are pretty easy to remove. I've already removed one, which is the one down the front here, and you can do the whole job with just that 14mm spanner, or socket I should say, and an impact driver. Well, let's get stuck in and we'll record the whole thing, huh? That didn't take long at all. A few seconds. Well, no, about, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so. I guess the problem now is, what do I do with this big pile of seats? There's a fairly substantial dent in the back here where someone's obviously backed into a post. So I'm going to pull that bumper off and see if we can knock some sense into it. Now, in order to get this off, there's two lights. These are actually just the reverse lights, and they need to come off first. And then there's just 8 bolts. So these are the 2 bolts, the bottom one there and then the top one above it. And these are both a 12mm. There's 2 on each side. And then there's also some there. I don't know whether you can see those. Yeah, those brackets there. And there's a bracket on each side. That's it. And there we have it. That's the bumper off. You can still see there's a depression in the back. Let's have to see if we can, I don't know, see if we can pull that out somehow. Otherwise, it's pretty good under there. Well, yesterday I got a parcel. Here it is. Let's open her up. Well, that's about it for this episode. Thanks for your company. If you are doing a bus build yourself, please comment in the comment section with a link to your documentation of it. I've kind of caught up with all of the ones that I was aware of. One for the road. I'm up to their final video. They just put out one the other day. Apparently they just got their roadworthy for their bus, so they'd be over the moon, I should think. That's Gillian and Jeremy. And then also I've caught up completely with Andrew's and Carolyn's, which is Traveller's Suite. And I'm completely caught up with their videos too. Andrew's the one that I went out to see, who showed me around his bus. He lives not too far away from me here. Anyway, if you are doing a build, be sure to let me know what it's going like, and if you're just watching what it's like just to see what old men do with buses, well, I'm glad you're here, and thanks very much for watching.